Light heavyweight contender Anthony Yarde from the UK is looking to step out from the shadows and to step out to the forefront when he faces David Benavidez November 22nd in a battle which will tell us who is the better fighter at that division, looking to challenge for a world title opportunity. Let's talk about it. When Anthony Yarde steps into the ring on Saturday, November 22nd, against the likes of David Benavidez, he is going to be in a position to prove not only his legitimacy at the light heavyweight division, but the fact that he belongs at the top, having formerly challenged Artur Beterbiev and being stopped inside the distance against Beterbiev. He has come back with 4 straight victories. Now, when you talk about David Benavidez, who is 30-0, 28 years of age, and considered the future, the 34-year-old Yarde is considered a man who is already had his time, but there are those who feel that athletically he can pose a problem for the likes of Benavidez. And so therefore, Yarde believes that not only can he compete with the likes of Benavidez, but he believes he can actually stop Benavidez when they fight. That's interesting because when you think about the two men, they're both over 6 feet tall. Benavidez has a 74.5-inch reach, and Yarde, 2 inches shorter at 6 feet even, is definitely an athletic guy, but he's a lifelong light heavyweight, something that Benavidez has just recently moved up to, and there's going to be an opportunity for Yarde to show not only his prowess, boxing ability, but maybe show some physicality in this fight, because when Morrell fought Benavidez, they were on even terms physically, with Morrell being a little more athletic, and they both had pretty much moved up to the division at the same time. But it was the June 24 fight against Alexander Gavaskic that let us know that Benavidez was probably not necessarily going to be as strong at that division as he was when he was at 168. So therein lies that opportunity for Yarde, who feels that he can stop the younger Benavidez if he uses the abilities that he has. Now, all of the talk is centered around Benavidez and his KO power. Anthony Yarde is wondering, where is his respect? And this is coming from a Ring magazine article that was produced earlier in the month, where it states that both top 5 in the Ring's 175-pound rankings are Yarde and Benavidez. And Benavidez, who's bringing a record of 30-0 with 24 KOs, hasn't been in the division very long. But Yarde knows he can pack a punch, sort of. Although most of Benavidez's opponents didn't make it to the final bell during his time at super middleweight, Gavaskic and Morrell went the distance. Yarde, whose record is 27-3 with 24 KOs, knows a few things are slanted in Benavidez's favor, but when it comes to power, not only does he believe that box is checked on his side, but he believes that he can stop David 100%. He says, though my record isn't perfect, I am on form. Yarde is the type of fighter who can do some things in there with that athleticism, but I don't think that David should allow Yarde to hit him, because Yarde, like he states, is a natural light heavyweight, and he packs a punch. And inside those victories that he has, the 27 victories, those 24 knockouts are all against light heavyweights. David is going to have to consider that. And something tells me that he is going to have moments of vulnerability against Yarde. And it just comes naturally because he's had success in the past and no one has really made him take a step backwards. But it can all change on November 22nd. What I'm concerned about Yarde is his natural mental approach to this. Will he be dialed in, focused, a man on a mission to prove a point in an issue? Or will he be affable? Will he be engaging and lighthearted and spirited and face Benavidez the same way, which he has experienced in the past, talking about Benavidez when he faced the likes of Demetrius Andrade. Andrade is the closest thing to what Yarde brings in the ring. They're similar in their boxing styles, though that Andrade was a southpaw fighter that really can mix things up. Benavidez is going to be facing an orthodox fighter in Yarde, but who can box exactly like Demetrius Andrade, but a bit stronger. It's a compelling matchup. I really like it. And I like the fact that some of these fighters who are not holding titles presently are looking to face one another in an opportunity to show who's best. Sometimes the titles are secondary when the matchups are intriguing. And this happens to be an intriguing fight that, though it's the main event, and some people may be clamoring that it should possibly be Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney as the main event, I don't necessarily agree with that. I do believe this is a headlining matchup. And because there are many who may not know about Anthony Yarde, unless you're a true boxing fan and a follower of the sport, you may miss out on the opportunity to see the talent that's out there in the division. Yarde will come to fight, and he's going to have a little bit of pride on the line. This fight will be in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, so there's neutral territory for both he and Benavidez. And will Benavidez feel nervous under these circumstances? You never know. It's his first time in Saudi fighting, and on neutral territory outside the U.S., there may be some butterflies there. And if there are, it's normal. But if there are, Yarde should be able to take advantage of that as well. These type of fights need to be had. And when you're talking about these type of talents, you've got your typical boxer puncher against an athletic boxer with a punch. So those contrasts are something that can really make people take note of, and somewhere along the line we could find some excitement. We'll have a better, stronger breakdown as we get closer to the fight. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Do you think Anthony Yarde is right when he feels that he can stop David Benavidez? Leave comments and let's discuss further. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.